I never expected to hear those words from a woman like Natalie Chen. She stood at the edge of my pool in a black one-piece swimsuit that looked more like armor than swimwear, arms wrapped around herself despite the July heat. Her knuckles were white where she gripped her elbows. "I'm scared of water," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "You're going to have to hold me tight." I was 29. She was 43. She was my boss's boss, the VP of operations who'd approved my raise last quarter. And she was asking me to touch her. In a pool. Alone. At my house. "I can do that," I said. What I didn't say, holding Natalie Chen tight, was exactly what I'd been dreaming about for 6 months. What I also didn't know. Her ex-husband Marcus had hired a private investigator to watch her. And that investigator was sitting in a car 3 houses down, camera ready, waiting for exactly this kind of mistake. 2 days earlier, Natalie had shown up at my door unannounced. I'd been working all day and came home to find her sitting on my front steps. Designer heels kicked off. Blazer folded in her lap, hair loose instead of the usual tight bun. She looked younger like this. Vulnerable. She looked up when I pulled in. Even from 20 feet away, I could see she'd been crying. "Natalie? Miss Chen?" I corrected myself. Old habit, professional distance that felt thinner every time I saw her. She stood, smoothed her skirt. "I'm sorry. I should have called. This is inappropriate." "What's wrong? Is the security system okay?" "The system's fine." She picked up her heels. "I'll go. This was a mistake." "Hey." I stopped her with a hand on her arm. She looked at my hand. At the grease still under my fingernails from the day's work. At the way I was standing too close. "Can we go inside?" she asked. "I need to ask you something, and I need you to say no if it crosses lines." I unlocked my door, let her inside. She took in my small house tools on the counter, laundry waiting to be folded. "Sorry for the mess." "It's fine. It's real." She set down her blazer with shaking hands. "Jacob, can you teach me to swim?" The question hung in the air. "What?" "I know it's odd. I know you work for my company and this is inappropriate, but I'm desperate." She took a breath. "There's a company retreat in 3 weeks. Bahamas, senior leadership, board members, team building in the water, and I can't swim." "Can't? Or won't?" "Both." She wrapped her arms around herself. "I nearly drowned when I was 7. Birthday party. I went under and no one noticed. Someone eventually pulled me out, but ever since. I panic. I pulled out 2 beers, handed her one. "So skip the retreat." "I can't. I'm up for SVP. This retreat is where they decide. If I don't go, I'm out. If I go and panic in front of everyone." She didn't finish. "Didn't need to. I looked into swim schools, but they're group lessons or instructors who don't understand. I need someone I trust. Someone patient. Someone who won't judge me if I fail." She looked at me, desperate. Scared. I know this crosses every professional line. I know I shouldn't be here asking this. But you're the only person I could think of who might understand. Smart move would have been saying no, redirecting her to a professional swim school, keeping boundaries intact. "When do you want to start?" I asked. Her shoulders sagged with relief. "Tomorrow?" The next evening, I waited by the pool. 7 came and went, then 7:15. I was starting to think she'd reconsidered when my doorbell rang at 7:25. She stood there in jeans and loose blouse, gym bag over her shoulder. "Sorry I'm late." I sat in my car for 10 minutes, trying to convince myself this wasn't terrible. Nervous? Terrified. She stepped inside. "Where should I change?" I pointed to the bathroom. She disappeared. The lock clicked. 5 minutes passed. 10. I was about to knock when the door opened. She emerged, and I understood the hesitation. The black one-piece was modest, but it showed her figure in ways her business suits never did. The curve of her waist, the strength in her shoulders. She was 43 and looked better than anyone I'd dated at 25. She crossed her arms. "Stop staring." "Sorry. You look ready." I look terrified. And old. This looked better in the store. "You don't look old." The words came out before I could stop them. Silence. Something shifted in her expression. Then, she cleared her throat. "Show me this pool before I run." I led her to the back patio. My pool wasn't large, just standard, but it was heated, surrounded by tall privacy fence I'd installed last year. Jasmine grew thick on the fence. The smell was everywhere. Sweet, heavy, summer evenings, and bad decisions. Natalie stopped at the edge, looked at the water like it might attack, breathing shallow. What if I panic? Then I get you out. That's what I'm here for. What if I embarrass myself? You won't. What if I can't do this? I stepped closer, not touching, but close enough she could feel me there. Then we try again tomorrow, and the next day. No pressure here. No board watching, just you and me. Your pace. She nodded, took a shaky breath. Okay. What first? First, we get in, just standing. Shallow end. Water's only 4 feet. You'll stay with me? The whole time. You'll hold me if I need it? As tight as you want. She took off her cover-up, stepped to the edge, toes curling over the tile. I was already in the water. Held out my hand. 1 step. That's all. Just one. She took my hand. Her palm was cold despite the heat. She lowered 1 foot into the water. Gasped. It's warm. Heated to 85. No shock, no cold, just warm. She lowered the other foot, both feet on the top step, still gripping my hand like a lifeline. That's good. That's perfect. Now 1 more step. She descended another step. Water at her knees now. Breathing too fast. Starting to hyperventilate. Hey! I squeezed her hand. Look at me. Not the water. Me. She met my eyes, brown and wide and terrified. Breathe with me. In through your nose, out through your mouth. She matched my breathing. Slowing down. Grounding. Good. That's good. You're doing great. I'm barely in the water, but you're in. That's more than yesterday. I stayed close. Let her hold my hand. Let her take her time. It took 20 minutes before she made it to the pool floor. Water at her chest now, shaking, but standing. I'm in the pool, she said, like she couldn't believe it. You're in the pool. I'm actually in the water. You are. She laughed. Shaky. Disbelieving. Okay, what next? What next was 30 minutes of basic floating. Me, supporting her back while she lay in the water, staring at the darkening sky, learning to trust that water could hold her. My hand under her spine, her body rigid at first, then gradually relaxing. This is nice, she said eventually. Being held? Being held by you? The words hung between us. Honest. Dangerous. We both pretended she hadn't said them. Over the next week, we fell into a routine. She'd show up every evening at 7, sometimes early. Sometimes with coffee or takeout we'd share before getting in. We'd swim for an hour. Then she'd change and we'd talk on my patio, wrapped in towels, putting off the moment she'd have to leave. By day 3, she could put her face in water for 3 seconds. By day 5, she could float on her back with my hand supporting her. By day 7, she was laughing when she came up from underwater instead of gasping. The way she looked at me when I helped her out of the pool, hand lingering in mine, the conversations that had nothing to do with swimming. One night, she told me about her marriage. How she'd married Marcus at 27 because it seemed right. How they'd built successful careers but forgot to build a life. How she woke up at 41 and realized she'd spent 15 years with someone who didn't even like her. He left me for his assistant, she said, sitting on the pool steps, water lapping at her shoulders. 26 years old. Everything I wasn't. Young, carefree. She didn't say it, but I heard it. Fertile. Someone who could still give him children. You're not complicated, I said. Yes, I am. I'm driven and ambitious, and I have a daughter almost as old as his new girlfriend, and I can't even swim. I'm 43 and a mess. You're not a mess. You're human. She splashed water at me, smiled. Tell me about you. Why aren't you married? I shrugged. I was engaged once. College girlfriend. We were going to do the whole thing, house, kids, minivan. Then I started my business, and she realized I was choosing work over her. She wasn't wrong. She left. Married her yoga instructor 6 months later. Do you regret it? Sometimes. But mostly, I think we would have been miserable. She wanted the idea of me, not the reality. What's the reality? I work too much. I'm better with my hands than my words. I like quiet evenings more than parties. I'm not exciting. You're teaching a terrified woman to swim in your backyard. That's pretty exciting. This doesn't feel like teaching. What does it feel like? I looked at her. Water reflecting city lights, hair slicked back, face bare of the makeup she wore to the office. She looked real like this. Honest. It feels like I'm getting to know someone I've wanted to know for a long time. She held my gaze. We shouldn't be doing this. Probably not. This crosses every line. It does. So why does it feel right? I don't know. But I did know. It felt right because for the first time in years, I wasn't sleepwalking through my life. I was awake, alert, alive, and so was she. Then everything changed. Tuesday of week 2. I was working a commercial install downtown wiring security cameras for a new office building when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Text message. Photo attached. I opened it and my blood went cold. Picture of Natalie's Mercedes parked in front of my house. The license plate was clear. The timestamp was damning. 11:47 p.m. Last night. The night she'd stayed late because we'd lost track of time talking about her daughter's upcoming wedding, about the pressure she felt from the board, about whether happiness was worth risking everything for. We'd sat on my patio until nearly midnight, wrapped in towels, jasmine heavy in the air between us. We hadn't done anything wrong, but the photo made it look like we had. The text below was simple. Threatening. Interesting company you keep, Mr. West. Wonder what your other clients would think? Chen Development Group might also find this fascinating. Professional boundaries exist for a reason. I called her immediately. Voicemail. Called again. Still voicemail. Third time she picked up. Jacob, I'm in a meeting. We need to talk. Not at my place. Someone's been watching. Silence. Then her voice, careful and controlled. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. She called back in 3. What happened? I told her about the photo, about the message. She was quiet for so long I thought she'd hung up. Natalie? It's Marcus. Her voice was flat. Dead. It has to be. He's been looking for something to use against me. He's on the board now. He can't stand that I'm about to outrank him. Who's Marcus? My ex-husband. She took a shaky breath. He hired a PI during the divorce. Tried to prove I was having an affair. Couldn't find anything because I wasn't. But he's never stopped watching. Never stopped looking for ammunition. What does he want? To destroy me. To prove I make poor choices. To show the board I'm not fit for SVP. She laughed bitterly. And now he has it. Senior VP having private late-night meetings with a junior contractor. Looks terrible. Feels worse. We're not doing anything wrong. Aren't we? Her voice cracked. We're alone together every night. You touch me. I let you. We talk about things I don't talk about with anyone. And every time I leave your house, I have to remind myself not to kiss you goodbye because that's not what we are. We're not anything. Except a disaster waiting to happen. Natalie, I have to go. I have presentations all day. We'll figure this out. Just be careful. Don't respond to that message. Don't engage. I'll handle it. She hung up. I stood there in the middle of the construction site, phone in hand, wondering how something that felt this right could be falling apart so fast. That evening, she didn't show up for our lesson. Didn't call, didn't text. I sat by the pool waiting, checking my phone every 30 seconds. At 7:15, I texted, "You okay?" At 7:45, I called. Voicemail. At 8 p.m., I texted again. Talk to me. Whatever's happening, we'll deal with it. Nothing. By 9 p.m., I was pacing. Had Marcus gotten to her? Had the board confronted her? Had she decided this was too much risk for too little reward? At 9:47 p.m., my doorbell rang. I nearly ran to the door, opened it expecting her. Instead, a woman in her late 20s. Designer clothes, hard eyes, expensive handbag. Her mother's bone structure, but none of her warmth. Jacob West? Yes? I'm Maya Chen, Natalie's daughter. We need to talk. She pushed past me before I could respond. She pushed past me without invitation, stood in my living room, looking around like she was cataloging evidence. Nice place. Private. Convenient for secret meetings. What do you want? I want you to leave my mother alone. Making her feel young and special and interesting. It's pathetic. You don't know anything about I know you're 29. I know she's 43. I know she's vulnerable right now and you're taking advantage of that. I'm not taking advantage of anyone. Really? Because from where I stand, you're a contractor who saw an opportunity with a lonely older woman. Maybe you're after money. Maybe connections. Maybe you just like the ego boost of making the VP want you. But whatever it is, it ends now. That's not your decision. Actually, it is. Because if you don't walk away, I'll make sure everyone knows about your little arrangement. I'll tell the board. I'll tell your clients. I'll make sure both of you regret this. Does your mother know you're here? She hesitated. She doesn't need to know. She needs protecting. From herself. From you. From this midlife crisis disaster before it ruins her career. Get out. Excuse me? Get out. If your mother wants to end this, she can tell me herself. But you don't get to make that choice for her. She's an adult. She gets to decide who she spends time with, even if her daughter doesn't approve. Maya's face flushed with anger. You're going to regret this. Maybe. But that's my choice, not yours. She left, slammed the door hard enough to rattle the frame. I stood there wondering if I'd just made everything worse. My phone buzzed. Natalie, I'm so sorry. Maya just told me what she did. Please ignore her. She doesn't speak for me. I'm coming over. We need to talk. It's late. Your ex might be watching. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of hiding, tired of pretending. If Marcus wants photos, let him have them. I'm done living my life based on what other people think. She showed up 20 minutes later. Hair disheveled. No makeup. Jeans and old sweater. She looked exhausted and beautiful and furious. I'm sorry about Maya. She had no right. She's scared for you. She's controlling. She's been controlling since the divorce. Trying to manage my life because she thinks I can't handle it on my own. She's wrong. Natalie moved into my living room. Didn't sit. Too much energy. Jacob, we need to decide what this is. What we're doing. Because halfway doesn't work. Secret doesn't work. We're either nothing or we're something. And if we're something, I need to know if you're ready for what that means. What does it mean? It means Maya will hate you. It means Marcus will use this against me. It means whispers at work and awkward questions and people calculating our age difference in their heads. It means losing clients who think I'm having a midlife crisis. It means your business taking a hit from association with scandal. It means my daughter might not speak to me for months. Maybe longer. She stopped. Took a breath. But it also means I get to stop pretending I don't think about you constantly. That I don't look forward to our evenings together more than anything else in my week. That when you touch me in the pool, I don't want you to stop touching me. That for the first time in years, I feel alive. I'm ready, I said. Just like that? Just like that. You're not even scared? I'm terrified. But I'm more scared of losing this. Of losing you. Of going back to the life I had before where I went through motions and pretended I was happy and never took risks because risks meant vulnerability. I crossed the room, stood in front of her, close enough to feel her breathing. I vote for something. For us. For whatever happens next. Even if it's messy and complicated and everyone judges us. Even if it costs you clients. Even then. Even if my daughter hates you. I'll win her over eventually. Even if it's hard. Especially if it's hard. Because easy gets you nothing worth having. She kissed me. Finally. After weeks of almost kisses and held back moments and touches that meant more than they should, she kissed me like she'd been wanting to for a long time and couldn't hold it back anymore. We broke apart, both breathing hard. So now what? She asked. Now you tell me if you want to finish these swim lessons, or if teaching was just an excuse to spend time together. She laughed. I actually do want to learn to swim. That retreat is in 1 week. The CEO will be there. Board members, senior VPs from every region. I can't panic in front of them. Then we swim tomorrow. And every day until you're ready. And when you get back from that retreat, we figure out the rest. Promise? Promise. She stayed until midnight. We didn't swim, just talked, made plans, acknowledged that what we were starting would be complicated and people would judge and there would be costs. But we were choosing it anyway. When she left, she kissed me goodbye at the door. No hiding, no pretending. If Marcus's PI was still watching, let him watch. We weren't going to be careful anymore. The next 5 days were a whirlwind. Swim lessons every evening, real lessons now, intense and focused. No more pretending we were just instructor and student. She had 1 week to go from beginner to confident enough to not embarrass herself in the Bahamas in front of the CEO, the board, and every senior leader in the company. We worked on freestyle first arms cutting through water, breathing every third stroke, then backstroke trusting she wouldn't sink, staring at stars while moving, then treading water for 10 minutes straight because the CEO was known for his endurance challenges. By day 3, she could swim a full lap without stopping. 25 meters. She came up at the end, breathless and triumphant, and I wanted to kiss her so badly it hurt. By day 4, she could tread water for 15 minutes and was working on flip turns. By day 5, she was diving from the side of the pool, knife straight into the water like she'd been doing it for years. "Who are you and what did you do with the woman who was terrified to put her face in the water?" I asked. On day 6, 1 day before the retreat, everything came crashing down. I was installing a camera system at a residential property when my phone rang. Unknown number. Professional tone. "Mr. West, this is Jennifer Caldwell from Chen Development Group's legal department. We're calling to inform you that, effective immediately, we're suspending your contract pending investigation into allegations of inappropriate conduct with a company executive." My hands went numb. What allegations? "We've received a formal complaint filed anonymously through our ethics hotline regarding your personal relationship with a senior member of our operations team. The complaint alleges inappropriate boundary violations, abuse of contractor status, and potential conflicts of interest. Until we complete our internal review, you're barred from all Chen Development properties, projects, and company-related activities. You'll be paid for all work completed through today, but no new work will be assigned. Expect a formal letter within 48 hours. Who filed the complaint? I have a right to. We're legally obligated to investigate all ethics violations. You'll have an opportunity to respond in writing once the investigation is complete. That's all I can say at this time." She hung up. Just like that. My biggest contract, $78,000 annually, gone. I called Natalie. She was in a meeting but called back within minutes. "I just got suspended from your company's contract." "What?" "No, he can't. He already did. I'm calling legal right now. I'll fix this. Natalie, stop. You can't fix this." Marcus filed an anonymous complaint. "Legal has to investigate. That's procedure." Silence. Then her voice. Small and broken. "I've ruined you. You haven't ruined anything. I have. You've lost your biggest contract. You'll lose others. Commercial security is a small world. Word will spread. People will think you're... What? Having a relationship with a consenting adult? They'd be right. Jacob, I'm so sorry. This is exactly what I was afraid of. This is why I should have stayed away from you. Why I should have. Stop. I don't regret this. Any of it. Do you?" She was crying now. I could hear it in her breathing. "No, but I regret what it's costing you." "Then let's make sure it costs something worth having. Go to your retreat. Swim your heart out. Show them all that you're not scared anymore. And when you get back, we'll figure out the rest together. What if they fire you? Then I'll find other clients. What if they come after me? Then we'll deal with it. Jacob, Natalie, I love you." The words surprised both of us. I hadn't meant to say them. Not yet. Not like this. But they were true. Silence on the other end. Then, "I love you too. And I'm terrified of how much I mean that." Good. Be terrified. Be reckless. Be brave. Just don't be alone. She laughed through tears. "You're the bravest person I've ever met. I learned it from you. Now go pack. You've got a retreat to dominate." The retreat was 4 days. No contact. Company policy during leadership retreats, no phones, no distractions. 4 days of not knowing how she was doing. If she'd swum in front of everyone? If Marcus had made his move? If she'd decided this was all too much? I worked on small projects, residential installs, single-family homes, work I'd done before my business grew. It was humbling and frustrating and exactly what I needed. On day 5, my doorbell rang at 8 p.m. I opened it. Natalie stood there, sunburned, exhausted, still in her travel clothes, smiling. "You came back." I came back. She dropped her suitcase, threw her arms around me. I swam, Jacob. In front of everyone. The CEO challenged me to race him across the lagoon. I won. "You won?" He offered me COO on the spot. "That's incredible." Wait, COO? She pulled back, looked at me. I turned it down. "What?" COO means relocating to New York, means 100-hour weeks, means building another empire alone. And I've already done that. I don't want to do it again. She touched my face. I want a life. With you. If you'll still have me after everything. Are you sure? That's a massive I'm sure. They gave me SVP. That's enough. That's more than enough. It gives me time for other things. For people I care about. For a life outside work. For swimming in backyard pools and kissing men who make me brave. I kissed her. Right there in my doorway where anyone could see. Where Marcus's PI could photograph if he was still watching. Where neighbors could witness and gossip about. I missed you, I said. 4 days. Felt like forever. It did. But I had a lot of time to think. About what matters. About what I want my life to look like. She took my hand. Jacob, this is going to be hard. Maya's still not speaking to me. My friends are going to judge. I'll probably lose clients. The board is going to investigate Marcus's complaints. Legal will make our lives difficult for a while. But I want this. I want you. I'm choosing you. I'm choosing you too. Even knowing it's going to cost us? Especially knowing that, because the things worth having always cost something, and you're worth everything. 6 months later, we're still paying that price. But we're paying it together. Maya came around eventually. It wasn't fast. It wasn't easy. It took 4 months of Natalie refusing to apologize for being happy. 4 months of missed holidays and uncomfortable phone calls and her daughter slowly realizing that maybe, possibly her mother wasn't having a crisis but was actually choosing something real. They have coffee now once a week at a cafe halfway between their apartments. Maya's still careful with me. Polite in that way that keeps distance, cautious about asking personal questions. But she came to our 6-month anniversary dinner, a small thing at my place, just the 3 of us, and jasmine-scented air, and she raised her glass and said, "To unlikely love stories that might actually work out, against all odds and everyone's better judgment." Then she looked at me. "Don't hurt her. She's been hurt enough." I promised I wouldn't. And I meant it. I cried a little when she left that night. Won't admit it to Natalie. But I did. My business survived the scandal. Lost Chen Development, obviously. Lost 2 other commercial contracts when word spread. Spent months rebuilding reputation with smaller clients. But I also gained something. Clients who respected that I'd stood by someone when it cost me. Integrity, apparently, still has market value. Natalie's social life got quieter. Book club didn't take her back. Charity boards politely declined to renew her memberships. Invitations to galas dried up. But she started a new book club. Just 3 women so far. They actually read the books. She says it's better than the old one. 3 of her clients did transfer to other brokers. Called her choices unprofessional. She shrugged it off. Said she didn't want clients who couldn't see past age gaps anyway. We don't live together yet. Too soon. Too much ammunition for people looking for scandal. But she has a drawer at my place. I have one at hers. We swim 3 nights a week. She's gotten fast. Beats me in races more than my ego appreciates. The jasmine still blooms on my back fence. Every summer evening smells like the night she first asked me to hold her tight. Like risk and trust and choosing brave over safe. Sometimes she still has nightmares. Wakes up gasping. Water closing over her head. I hold her until she remembers. She can swim now. She conquered that. We conquered it together. People still talk. Still calculate 14 years in their heads. Still wonder if it's real or if we're just stubborn. Let them wonder. We know. So I'll ask you. Have you ever loved someone everyone said was wrong for you? Ever chosen the messy, complicated thing over the safe, easy thing? Ever taught someone to swim and ended up drowning in them instead? Because that's what happened to me, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat. What about you?